Welcome back, everybody. My name is Gabe Charay. If you watch my channel, you know that I mess around a lot with Moog synthesizers, Rhodes piano, keyboard stuff, plugins, all that stuff, and I just like to talk about it and play music with it. So today is kind of a really special day because we're talking about the Moog Muse. Before I even get started, I wanted to thank Zounds.com for providing this Muse for me to check out on the channel and talk about it and show it to you guys. First, I want to tell you a little story. I used to own a Prophet 8 by Dave Smith Instruments, and the reason why I got it is because I saw James Blake playing it on stage and I thought it sounded incredible. I had the Prophet 8 for maybe 5 years and I never quite connected with it. And when I saw the Muse, I was thinking, okay, it's time to give it another shot. The first thought is, this thing is massive. There's just too much here to do in a short period of time. I mean, this is like a lifetime instrument. As a keyboardist, this instrument checks a lot of boxes. Who's the Muse for? I think it's for keyboardists. Like when you get on stage, you can just press a preset and have it ready to go. Especially if you play with bands or things like that. To have that ability to recall something is incredible. But you also have the flexibility of sculpting that sound beyond belief, you know, on your own time. Every time I sit down to play this thing, I end up spending way more time than I should have because it's a sound design dream, really. You get into the weeds pretty quick with the sound design on the Muse. And I thought today I would just play a bunch to give you some ideas on the sounds and some of the thoughts I have about it. I'm not gonna go too in depth to the whole thing because there's tons of videos about this stuff. And again, this thing is so massive. I could spend 5 years going over every feature on the Muse. So this is just timbre A. For every patch, there's 2 timbres. So you have 2 different sounds for each patch. So this is timbre A. And then there's another timbre, which you're not even hearing, called B. So that's a different timbre. So for every patch, there's 2 options for sound. And then you have ability to combine those sounds in a split or a stack, which leads to some really interesting results. There's also some pretty serious aftertouch on the Muse. Now I can add timbre B to that sound by stacking the sounds. Woo. Yeah, it gets pretty intense with both of those stacked. You can also split them. So now timbre B is up here on my right hand. Now let's say this one's too loud. I can actually adjust the level of that sound to lower, and maybe I want timbre B to be slightly louder. So now this right hand should be louder and the left hand is quieter. You know, you have these different timbres. Each one of them is controlled so separately, so I could have one timbre arpeggiating while holding another timbre. For instance, on Muse Runner, I could play timbre A, but timbre B, I might want this to be arpeggiating. So let's say, so this is timbre B, arpeggiating. I'm gonna turn it up a little bit. But now I can stack it with timbre A. Check this out. Pretty cool. I could also do it as a split, like I could have the right hand arpeggiating. And of course everything is adjustable, so if I wanted to adjust timbre B, so you can see, I mean, even just that tiny bit, you can get real deep with the Muse. Everything on here is its own thing. That's the phrase I kept saying to myself as I was working with it was, oh, this is like a whole thing. I could spend like a month just on the sequencer and the arpeggiator and the mixer and the filters. There's also this macro knob where you can assign things to this one knob and have it adjust everything. Really amazing stuff. The sequencer, I mean, it's vast. Just so you can hear it. You can also play over the sequencer. The Muse is designed for you to sit with it and like hang out and get to know all of these things and just have some fun, come up with a sound, and then just save it. And then later on, you just press the button and you're right back where you were. Here's one I did called Baby Goats. So yeah, this is just timbre A of Baby Goats. Here's timbre B. Just similar, but it's like a little softer. And if I stack them, you get sort of this big sound. Yeah. You could have the other one arpeggiating, like if I want timbre A arpeggiating, but B holding. Yeah, cute. Also, I'm not using a pedal on this at all. As a keyboardist, I play, if you're playing piano or keyboards, you use the pedal a lot, but I find that the pedal kind of gets in the way sometimes when you're playing an instrument like this. So no pedal, everything I'm doing doesn't use any sort of sustain. Here's a couple more patches I made. I did one called Shortgame. This one's a little weirder. Let's do a stack of it. A little abrasive. This one's called Visine Kicks In. Let's try it as a stack with both timbres. I haven't even touched on the fact that like you can bring in the other timbre too. So let's say I was playing. So I'm going to bring in timbre A. I could take out the arpeggio. And then bring it all back in. So yeah, if you're looking for an all-in-one analog synthesizer that can do pretty much anything you can think of, the Muse is a high contender. It's a pretty amazing instrument. It's a lifetime instrument. But making music on it is fun regardless of your skill level. All right, I'll see you guys next time.